Hey CheerStars parents and athletes. This video will cover everything you need to know about our 2023-24 competitions. Let's get started. Of course, we have to start with our competition schedule. The schedule you're seeing here was also included in the email where you received this video. Our first competition is this Saturday, December 2nd, at the Classic Center in Athens. We also compete one more time this month, which is the following weekend, December 9th and 10th, at the Georgia International Convention Center, which is right by the airport. For this competition, Gemini competes Saturday only. After break, our next competition is January 13th and 14th, and that's in Chattanooga at the Chattanooga Convention Center. Gemini will compete Saturday only for this event as well, and we will go over all the hotel details on the next slide for this event. The very next weekend, we compete on January 20th at the Georgia International Convention Center, again, right by the airport. In February, we go to CheerSport Nationals, which is, of course, one of our biggest events of the season. We will have mandatory practice on that Friday at the gym, and all three of our teams will compete both Saturday and Sunday, and this will be at the Georgia World Congress Center in downtown Atlanta. The next event on the schedule is for Gemini only, because they are a prep team, and this is Prep Nationals. That will be at the Georgia International Convention Center, again, right by the airport. And then we'll finish out the season together on March 15th through 17th. And this is Athletic Championships Nationals. It's a very big event as well. And this is at the GICC, again, right by the airport. For this event, it is listed as a 3-day event. They are possibly having some teams compete on Friday. So Gemini may possibly compete on Friday instead of Saturday, and if not, then it will be Saturday only. Of course, we have our end-of-season competitions. However, we must get bids, which is like invites, in order to attend any of these events. We will have another video coming out for each team that talks about those specific events that they can go to. But for now, we'll just talk about the dates and the locations. The first event, only Lady Luna is eligible for this event. It's April 25th and through 26th, and that is a Thursday and a Friday. And that is the Youth Summit at the Tampa Convention Center. We will only accept partial paid or paid bids to this event. All three of our teams are eligible to receive a bid to Emerald Nationals in Pensacola, Florida at the Pensacola Bay Center, and that's on April 27th through 28th. We really love this event. We went last year and we had a great time. However, to be noted on this event, if Luna or Shadow does receive an event to their summits, they will not attend Emerald Nationals, but Gemini will definitely be attending. Shadow, the last event is D2 Summit. Only Shadow is eligible for this event, and it's on May 10th through 12th, and that is at the ESPN Wide World of Sports in Orlando, Florida. For all of these competitions, even end-of-season competitions, there is usually a block schedule 1 month, so about 4 weeks out from each event. You can check the competition company's website if you're really looking for the info, or you can just shoot me a text. Usually as soon as the competition company sends it over to me, I send it out to you guys on Remind. The final performance schedule is not posted until the week of the competition, usually Wednesday, but sometimes on Thursday or Friday. So I will get out the information to you as soon as I have it. Just know that a lot of times it is tentative up until that last week, and sometimes the times do change a lot. So for now, save the full day for each one of these days until we get a little bit more information. Now, in the cheerleading world, there is basically 2 different kinds of events. Varsity is a very large company that owns a lot of these companies that you see listed under event company. So for those events, we don't have to do any waivers, but for an IEP event, which stands for Independent Event Producer, we're attending 2 of those events this year. One is our first competition, the Cheer Challenge, and then our second one is the Victory Spirits Peach Classic. So for the Victory Spirit event, it'll be a waiver that you have to fill out through your email, so it's all online. But for the cheer challenge, it's a paper waiver. The whole team goes on the same waiver, so the coaches will be coming out to the cars during your last practice this week and asking parents to sign that waiver. Our only regular season travel event for this season is Chattanooga, Tennessee on January 13th and 14th. You are required to stay in the competition city on both Friday and Saturday nights. Gemini families, however, you are only required to stay on Friday night since the team will only compete on Saturday. If you have not already, please book your room as soon as possible. This competition is a stay-to-play event, meaning that you must book your room through the link provided by the competition company in order for your athlete to be able to compete at the competition. The only exceptions that they make is if you have enough hotel points to 100% cover your stay. You will have to upload your receipt showing that you got a 100% discount with your points in order to request an exemption. If you do want to go ahead and use those points to book your room, just text me or email me and I'll send you the link for your form that you'll need to fill out. I did go ahead and include the link to book those hotels with the team code that you'll need to book, just in case anybody hasn't, in the email that you got this video in. Just so you know, though, I have spoken to several parents. They've been able to get great deals. They said the hotels are actually cheaper, so it's good to know that they're, protecting the prices for us. On the Friday night prior to the competition, you will be required to text me with your location by 11 p.m. I will give you step-by-step instructions on how to do that once we get closer to the January competition. We do need to know that you have arrived or you're close by to the competition city by 11, and you are required to be there. Even though I know it's not super far, we still have to stay in the competition city just to make sure everybody's safe and sound and ready to compete. If you do choose to send your child with another CheerStars family for the competition or any competition, make sure that you work out financial arrangements beforehand. If your child does go with another family, or if they're traveling with a grandparent or an aunt that doesn't usually bring them, please just let me know who that family member is and how I can get in touch with them so I have a point of contact for your athlete for the weekend. We obviously are our end of season events are also out of state competitions like Pensacola, Tampa, and Orlando. I would say for Pensacola, Gemini would be safe to book rooms. We know they're going to get a bid. We're really hoping they get the top bid. But they are safe to go ahead and book rooms in Pensacola. As for Luna and Shadow, I would wait on booking any rooms in either Pensacola, Tampa, or Orlando, or at least book a room that can be canceled just to see if we receive a summit bid before any kind of deadlines happen. Competition packets are very, very detailed packets that I will make for you before each competition. These packets have everything you need to know about each event. It has where is the competition, where do you park, how much does it cost to park, how much does it cost to watch the event, are there summit bids, what time do you have to be there, when are awards, what teams do you have to watch. Really, literally everything you need to know. So definitely read through those packets. As soon as I get the final schedule, I will send out the packet to you. However, please keep in mind that they don't usually send out the final schedules until the Wednesday or Thursday before the event. I don't like to put it in ink until it is final, so there's not confusion, but I will text out tentative times on Remind as soon as I get that tentative information. The arrival time and the compete time and awards time will come in that packet to you in a little chart, just like you got for Showcase with the Stars. I did put a sample one down here that actually is our tentative times for our competition this Saturday, but don't worry, you don't have to screenshot that yet because we do have a separate slide that talks about this Saturday coming up. So as far as competitions and what you should expect when arriving at an event, first of all, if this is your first year, welcome to a whole new world. Cheerleading competitions are loud, they're crowded, they are expensive, and they are seriously one of a kind. I would expect to be at each event for around 3 to 5 hours. But again, for now, block off your whole day until a month out when we get the block schedule for each competition. What do you need to expect to pay for at each competition? First of all, there is usually a small parking fee that is a per vehicle price. You also have to pay for admission for any spectators that are coming to watch. Parents, grandparents, siblings, friends, anyone but your athlete will have to pay to come into a competition. Of course, if you want any concession stand items or pro shop items like bows or t-shirts, you would be expected to pay for those on your own as well, but none of those are mandatory costs for the event. Once you actually arrive at the event, hopefully before or at least at your arrival and meet team time, you will meet your teammates and coaches, and that's usually only about 30 minutes before we go to warm-ups. So this is your time to finish eating your snack or your breakfast, go ahead and go to the restroom, get your lipstick on, take your warm-ups off, take any pictures with your parents or by yourself, so that you're just ready to go for competition. After this small period of time, the coaches will take the team away from the parents. We ask that you don't follow us at this time, as we really use this time to get the team focused on our mission ahead. When the coaches do take the athletes, I do recommend that you go ahead and go into the competition venue. Events do usually run on time, and sometimes they can run early. They can shift us forward without any notice, so it's important that you're in the arena listening to the announcer and following the schedule so that you don't miss your child's performance. After they get off the stage, you will come straight to go grab them on the side of the stage, and they will be your responsibility until after awards. Also, a small note, when the athletes do come with the coaches, they do not need to bring anything with them. No book bags, cell phones. Really, the only thing they can bring is a water bottle, but they do 99% of the time have water in warm-ups for the athletes. They don't give us a place to put these bags. I would hate if anybody's stuff got messed with while we were competing. So please make sure that you have everything you need from your athlete before you leave them, so that they don't have to leave their bag in a random hallway or anything, and we don't have to worry about it getting messed with. I know that competition days are sometimes stressful days for athletes, parents, and us coaches as well. So the best thing we can do to ease some of the stress and anxiety that we have around such a big event is to plan ahead. So first, you can know the competition information before. You shouldn't be pulling up your packet on your email on the morning of the competition wondering what time you have to be there and where it is. You should, at the very least, read through that packet the night before, know everything you need to know, and then after you have all that info, you can decide what time you need to leave your house, and then I would maybe buffer that time just a little bit, because you never know when there's going to be a wreck on the interstate with traffic, or they're doing road construction, so you just want to make sure that you're not going to stress yourself out by getting caught in something like that and you don't have enough time to get there. We want to also make our athlete be a little responsible, but also make sure they have all of her things together, because you don't want to be rushing the morning of competition trying to find things. It's stressful for the athlete, and it's really stressful for you. So even give them a checklist and make them check it off. They need to have their bow, their makeup bag, their uniform top, their sports bra, their skirt, their warm-up pants, their warm-up jacket, their cheer shoes, and a pair of plain black socks. You can also ask your athlete if there's anything that she needs that will help them out with the competition day, help them ease their anxiety and stress. And again, I recommend that you have this conversation before the morning of competition, at the very least the night before, but you could definitely start this conversation this week as we're heading into our final week of practices. You can make suggestions. It may be things like they want to have a special breakfast, or they want to have a smoothie. They might want to have quiet time with music. getting ready by themselves in their bedroom, or they might want to make it a fun thing and get ready with you. So no matter what it may look like for your athlete or your family, creating some kind of competition day ritual and just planning ahead so that everything runs smoothly just helps everything stay calm on what could otherwise be a really stressful day. If you are a podcast girl like me, there is a great podcast called the Cheer Mom Podcast. She has a ton of great episodes, but two in particular talk about this exact thing. One is called Comp Day Rituals, and one I think is called Do You Feel Like You and Your Athlete are yelling at each other on competition day? So just check out those episodes if you want to get some tips from her. She actually has her athlete on the show as well, just talking about things that have helped her. I do suggest one thing that really helps with organization and keeping things together and calm is getting some kind of cheer bag, whether that be one of our cheer bags or just a cheer bag that you have that serves as a designated place for your athletes' things for competition day. Their uniform, their bow, their makeup, their cheer shoes, just so nothing gets lost. You can even keep their practice wear in this bag throughout the week if you want it to just be a comp day and cheer bag. It's really important to keep up with those extra items. I don't have extra sizes of everything. Of course, I do have extra bows and makeup, but if you do lose those things, those items do cost money. So just make sure you're keeping up with your items. It is mandatory that all of our athletes wear our competition makeup. The reason that we wear makeup is because the judges are pretty far away, so makeup helps them see our facial expressions more so that we can get a great score in that area. You will receive a makeup kit this week, and it will have first eye primer, it will have a purple shimmer powder, it will have a dual-ended brush, a Vixen lip stain, and all of that will come all together in a little makeup bag. Of course, you can change out the makeup bag. However, if you want to keep it all in there, it's great. Just make sure you don't lose any of those items. What you must purchase is any black mascara, and then there is some optional items you can purchase as well. One would be black eyeliner, face powder, and then blush. All of those are optional. It can be as minimal makeup as you would like it to be, as far as it still meets the dress code, but you don't have to do, a full face bake or anything like that. But if you want to, it's only going to emphasize your performance. But just know that it is not mandatory to do any of those things. I will be sending out a YouTube video this week that has step-by-step instructions. Again, I am not a makeup artist, so my instructions will be for the basic people that really just need to be able to get by. But I will have that sent out in an email, as well as some additional pictures for those people that are way more well-versed than I am. Inside the makeup bag that you get this week, you will also have your competition bow. So now we're going to talk about what your hair should look like at a competition. Your hair should be in a single high ponytail and have no flyaways or bangs falling down in front of their face. It is not mandatory to use heat products on your hair, but it is mandatory for your hair to look neat. Braids are always acceptable as well. Your ponytail should sit high on top of the head with the bow sitting straight up. Your competition bow should only be worn for competitions. If you do lose your bow, a replacement bow is $30. Please be mindful of any hairstyles that would add any extra weight to the head. It is actually a USASF rule that athletes cannot have any beads or hard hair accessories in their hair because it can hurt other athletes or themselves. So please, during competition season, no beads or other hard hair accessories. Athletes with hair that does not touch their collarbone may wear their hair in a half-up, half-down ponytail. I did include lots of pictures over here to the right side so you can see some examples. Again, it does not have to be, Texas ponytail, but it does need to look like you spent some time getting ready. If you look good, you're going to feel good, and then you're going to compete good. So if you have any questions about your athlete's hair, you can always take a picture and send it to me on Remind, and I can let you know if the hairstyle looks good or not. Next, we're going to talk about jewelry and nails. No jewelry should ever be worn with your Cheerstars uniform. This goes for necklaces, rings, bracelets, even if they are not hard, like excessive rubber bracelets or anything like that, cannot be worn with your uniform. Also included in that are stud earrings, belly button rings, and nose rings. So make sure you're getting all of that stuff out in the morning as you're getting ready for competition day. It is a good recommendation to not get any new piercings during competition season. New piercings usually cannot be taken out, even if it is for a few hours. Sometimes they can grow up. So I recommend just waiting until after competition season so you don't have to pay to get your ears or whatever it is re-pierced because it grew in while you were competing. This is a rule from the USASF. If a teen is seen in jewelry, whether it is in the hallway, in warm-ups, or on a competition stage, they can receive a 1-point deduction. Nails are a safety hazard, so they must be kept very short. Absolutely no tips. When you turn your athlete's hand over and look at the palm, you should not be able to see nails coming over the top of their fingertips. The nails can be painted, but they must be a neutral color like tan, nude, light pink, or white so that they're not a distraction on stage. If nails do not meet the nail standards, we will ask the parent to clip them. I have some heavy-duty nail clippers in the cheer bag. We'll ask you to clip them, or we will ask you to remove their polish before we head to warm-ups. I know nails are expensive. This is not to be seen as a punishment. It is obviously a safety issue for athletes that they're stunting with. They could scratch them or poke them in the eye, but it's really more of a safety issue for the athlete that personally has the nails themselves. I did include a picture. This is actually just of myself that happened at a practice. So even one small tip can really rip your whole nail bed off. I've seen much worse instances than this happen. So just keep the nails short until after competition season. All right, dress code. What do athletes wear to a competition? Since all athletes have matching warm-ups, these warm-ups are required to be with you at all of your competitions. Hopefully it is to be known that you must also have your uniform skirt, your uniform sports bra, which is the sports bra that came with your practice wear, the one that you wear with the black and yellow tank top. It's just plain black. It doesn't have anything on it. And you should also have your uniform bodysuit. Warm-ups, your competition uniform, or a combination of these items are the only items that your athlete should be wearing at a competition. So they can have just the bodysuit on with the pants, they can have the skirt with the jacket, whatever the combination may be, it's only those items, nothing else. Before awards, athletes will be notified of what to wear during the award ceremony by their coaches. It will likely be a combination of some of those things that we have. We might say full uniform with jacket, but we will always ask that the athletes keep their hair up in their ponytail and their makeup on until after awards. If it's really cold outside, athletes, please wear warmer jackets over their warm-ups to protect them from the elements and keep them warm. Cheerstars, please wear only your cheer shoes while at a competition, and this applies for our first two competitions. I don't want to give too much away, but after Christmas, there will be an additional pair of shoes that they will be allowed to wear at competitions. However, when this time comes, please, please, please make sure that your athlete has their cheer shoes, both of them, before you leave their house for competitions. There's a lot of things that we can try to pull together if you leave something on a competition day, but shoes are definitely the hardest ones of those to make happen. So please make sure that they have their cheer shoes when they leave for competition. Equally as important of all the last sides is how do we act at a cheerleading competition. For Douglasville Cheerstars, it is very important to us to teach and act out good sportsmanship while we're at competitions. So what exactly does that mean? We do not talk bad about other teams. We do not point and laugh at other teams. We don't wish that other teams fall or do bad. We support everybody. We clap for everybody. Even teams we're going against, even if they beat us and we think we should have won. What we choose to do is take whatever score sheet and things that we get, and we come in the gym and we work hard. We don't wish bad on other people. We don't act ugly or nasty. We cheer for everybody, and if we have an issue, we work hard here in the gym. So, with all that being said, please show good sportsmanship while at competitions. That is in awards, before awards, anytime in between. You are a representation of this program, and you can, or your child can, be dismissed if we are not being good sports. So control your emotions. If you need to pitch a fit, do it outside of the venue, and remember to just always be positive about our teams and about other teams. We are always trying to put out good karma so that it comes back to us. Alright, now I'm going to go over a few more policies. They are important enough for me to have to physically say out loud to you, but I'm not going to give a ton of details. But if you have any questions about any of these policies on these slides or before, and you want to know a little bit more explanation, just reach out to me. I would love to chat with you about it. Remember, rules are in a place for a reason. It's because they didn't used to be a rule and something happened to cause this to be a rule. So just keep that in mind as we go through these. Make sure your child gets a good night's rest and has healthy meals prior to their team's performance. That is lots of carbs and proteins, and that is low sugar intake and increase in water intake. This should happen about 7 days before each event, but definitely on the day of. Because cheerleading is not an individual sport, if your child goes to bed sick or wakes up sick, we still may expect them to compete sick. Call me as soon as you realize your child is sick. Do not send me an email. Do not send me a remind message. Give me a personal phone call. 404-422-7283. If you miss a competition, it is reason for immediate dismissal, and obviously this is handled on a case-by-case basis, but please keep in touch with me and communicate if anything crazy is going on in your life. Your athlete must be at all practices the week leading up to a competition in order to be eligible to compete, and there is no exceptions made to this. It is a safety issue for our athletes. Please watch all Cheerstars teams from priority seating, which is a area right at the front of the stage for the parents and fans of that team. If you're required to watch Cheerstars teams, it's going to be noted in your packet, so make sure you keep an eye on that big chart. But during those performances, please put your phones away and get excited for your kids. If it's your kids' team, obviously I know that you guys want a video of it, so if you're watching the other Cheerstars teams, you should be extra loud and crazy so that those parents can have their opportunity to get their video, okay? But our athletes feed off of the energy from the crowd, so do not simply just watch them. Scream, clap, ring bells, noisemakers, whatever you got to do, they need to feel your support while they're on that stage. After competing, you will pick up your child, and they are your responsibility until we meet back up for awards. So no kid should ever be dropped off at a competition. You're going to need to pick them up right after the performance. It's usually on either the left or the right side of the stage, but pickup locations will always be sent to you via remind. So again, make sure everybody that's coming to competition is on that remind message. Be positive always, and especially to your child, and even on social media before and after an event, regardless of the outcome. Competition days are tense for parents, athletes, and coaches, so watch what you say at all times. You never know who's listening, and the most important person who's listening is your athlete. They learn from what you do, not just from what you say. If another child makes a negative comment and hurts your child's feelings and you feel the need to address it while at a competition, please attempt to address it with their parents directly. Do not parent a child that is not yours. If another parent is talking about your child or any child, inform me immediately. Keep in mind, bad days are bound to happen, and one day it will be your child's bad day. They will bust their tumbling or drop their stunt or simply just fall walking across the stage. So as a reminder, a child's performance or a final team placement is no reflection of you as a parent, and it is not a final reflection of them as an athlete either. Never approach a competition official or judge unless it's in the form of complimenting the competition. This includes if you, for example, won a national champion t-shirt and it's not the right size, reach out to me or the coaches and we can get this corrected for you. Before or after an event, do not contact competition companies for any reason. This applies to both phone and email, and this is a rule from competition companies. They do not deal with parents directly. You can post routine videos online, like on your Facebook, but only if it is a hit, which means all elements of the routine hit. Please note you cannot go live on Instagram or Facebook. This is against the rules, so our team could be disqualified for this. And this is arguably the most important thing I will say during this entire meeting, and that is be on time, be on time, be on time. It stresses out your athlete, and it does affect their performance, whether you think so or not. They need alone time with their team to get focused on the battle ahead. And you never know what's going to happen. We may have had an athlete wake up that morning with a stomach virus, and we've got to change things. But we just need everybody there to be prepared, and it helps everybody not be stressed out. So, be on time. We are family here at CheerStars, so make sure you're looking out for your family. If you see somebody in a CheerStars shirt that is lost, even if you don't know them, talk to them, make sure they know what's going on, help them out. We cannot do this without each other, so really try to be there for each other, and just be nice, guys. You know, anytime you go to a concert or a big event, there is a lot of people bumping and moving around, and sometimes it can just not be a great experience. But if we all have the mindset that we're going to have a great day and we're going to be nice to everybody we pass, I promise it will be a better experience for you, your athlete, and just everybody in general. So be nice and have fun. Our first competition is this Saturday, December 2nd, at the Classic Center in Athens, Georgia. The venue is about 2 hours from the gym, so please give yourself extra time to arrive because this venue is farther than we normally travel for a one-day event. The schedule located on the right is a tentative schedule and it could change. The final schedule will be sent out to the coaches on Wednesday, so I will have the full packet to you Wednesday as well. As of now, Shadow will arrive at the venue at 9:15 a.m., compete at 10:45 a.m., and have awards at 12:15 p.m. Gemini will arrive at 10 a.m., compete at 11:30 a.m., and have awards at 12:15 p.m. alongside Shadow. Lady Luna will arrive at the venue at 12:30 p.m., compete at 1:55 p.m., and have awards at 5 p.m. Final announcements. First, and maybe most importantly, you should be receiving group texts from me. You should have gotten one about this video meeting. If you did not receive one, you are more than likely not on the group text. It is very important to be added, as I send out most important information via Remind, especially on competition weekends. If you are not on the Remind, you will not know where to meet us. If you need to get on the Remind, please give me a call at the office or stop by the front desk and ask anyone there how you can get added to the team's Remind. The CheerStars Holiday Party will be on Thursday, December 21st at the gym. Drop off at 6:30 p.m. and pick up at 8:30 p.m. Just as a reminder, you cannot make anything with the CheerStars logo because it is a registered trademark. However, you do have a survey in your email asking what you'd like to see for our Pro Shop order. So please fill out that survey so we can get the things that you want to see for our Pro Shop. Check out your email for the December calendar. You should have already let me know if you have any scheduled absences for this season. All practices will start back on Tuesday, January 2nd. Please make practices a priority. Remember, you can be dismissed from the team for even one excused absence or even excessive tardies. Hear gossip? Ask me directly for any clarification. Make sure you are using Remind to contact the coaches and Kelsey about anything that you need. Even if one of your coaches is your private lessons instructor, please do not contact them on their personal cell phones unless it has to do with your private lessons. This meeting covered everything about our regular season events. Our end-of-season events like Emerald Nationals, Youth Summit, and D2 Summit are also mandatory competitions. However, we have to be invited to attend them. There will be another video and email sent out in the next few weeks that just talks about these events and will be catered to each specific team so that there will be no confusion. Last but not least, what division is my team? It is important to know what division your team is if you are looking at a competition schedule or a block schedule from a competition company. There are a lot of divisions in cheerleading. So each word underneath your athlete's team name is important because it helps determine what division they are in. First and foremost, all three of our teams are D2. That stands for Division 2, and that has to do with the number of athletes that we have in our gym, very similarly to how the college structure works for athletics. So we are all Division 2. So that's always the first thing that you're going to look for. The next thing that you're going to want to look for is their age group. We have 3 teams that are in 3 different age groups, and that is obviously the age of the kids on the team. So Lady Luna is in the youth level, or the youth division. Gemini is in the junior division, and Shadow is in the senior division. The next thing that you're going to look for is their level. Again, we have 3 teams on 3 different levels. Lady Luna is level 1. Shadow is level 3, and Gemini is level 2.2. Only prep teams have those decimal levels, so they are junior prep level 2.2. And then the last thing that you're going to want to look for is the team size, which all 3 of our teams are small. However, they might not always be listed as small. They will generally only list it as small if there is also a medium division. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions about anything we covered in this meeting or anything leading up to this weekend, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can email me, Kelsey@DouglasvilleCheerstars.com. You can send me a Remind message, or you can give me a call at the gym, 770-489-2582. I can't wait to see everyone at competition and our girls take the stage this weekend.